Hey everyone, welcome back to Warren's Everyday English. Today we're going to continue and go through Diary of a Wimpy Kid, number 5, part 2. So we went over part 1 and if you missed it, you can watch it right over here. So let's continue the story. I'm getting a little sick of playing Formula 1 racing with Rowley, because he's not a serious gamer like me. All that you have to do to beat Rowley is name your car something ridiculous at the beginning of the game. So get sick of something. Get sick of something means that you are getting bored, annoyed, tired, resentful of something or someone, or that you are beginning to not enjoy it anymore. An example could be if you ate hamburgers every single meal. You might enjoy it at first, but after a while of eating hamburgers for every single meal, you would begin to hate the smell of hamburgers, and just the thought of eating another burger would make you want to throw up. So here's some more examples. I'm so sick of work, I have to wake up at 5 a.m. every day, and for the whole day, I have to pick up calls and have customers yelling and complaining to me. I'm getting sick of spaghetti. My mom makes it every night for dinner. It can be used in reference to people as well. I'm so sick of Bob. Whenever we hang out, all he does is complain about work and his wife. Ridiculous. The word ridiculous is an adjective that describes something or someone as being absurd, silly, or unreasonable. It can be used to express disapproval or disbelief at something or someone that is seen as foolish or absurd. So let's take a look at some examples to see how the word ridiculous is used in the sentences. It's ridiculous to think that we could finish this project in one day. I can't believe he spent $500 on a pair of shoes. That's just ridiculous. The traffic in the city is ridiculous. It took me an hour to go just a few miles. At the beginning or in the beginning. Right? So a lot of times we get a little bit confused when we use at the beginning or in the beginning, right? So we use at the beginning, often with of, to talk about the point where something starts. At the beginning of the movie, the main character is introduced as a troubled detective. So here, we're saying that when the movie starts, the main character is introduced as a troubled detective. We usually use in the beginning when we contrast two situations in time and usually convey what happens in the beginning and what happens in the end result. It means at first and is not usually followed by of. In the beginning, she was nervous about public speaking, but with practice, she became more confident. So here, right, we're showing contrast. At first, she was nervous, but later she became confident. In the beginning, they were unsure of their decision, but as time went on, they realized it was the right choice. So here, Greg is saying that he's beginning to get bored and annoyed of playing the racing game with Rowley, because Rowley is not a serious gamer like Greg. To beat Rowley, all you have to do at the beginning of the game is to give your car a silly name. And then when you pass Rowley's car, he just falls to pieces. So falls to pieces is an expression which can have a humorous or serious meaning depending on the situation. It essentially means to physically or mentally break or fall apart. So here are some examples to help you have a better understanding. Whenever Bob has to give a presentation in front of the class, he always falls to pieces. Or, John's life fell to pieces after his divorce. As mentioned, the phrase fall to pieces can also be used in a humorous or exaggerated way to describe someone who is overcome with laughter or cannot control their emotions due to a funny situation, like the situation in the book. So, a few examples. The comedian's performance was so funny that the entire audience fell to pieces with laughter. When the teacher made a funny comment, the entire class fell to pieces and couldn't stop giggling. So here in the sentence, Greg is saying that when he passes Rowley's car, Rowley just starts laughing uncontrollably.
Race announcer says, "Bad fart! Ahead!"
Because of the ridiculous name Greg named his car. Anyway, after I got done mopping the floor with Rowley today, I headed home. I ran through the neighbor's sprinkler a couple of times to make it look like I was all sweaty, and that seemed to do the trick for Dad. So mopping the floor is typically used in a game or a competition scenario. It means to easily beat or win by a huge margin against the opponent. So for instance, the opposing baseball team mopped the floor with us. They beat us 12-1. So another funny expression we can also use is destroyed. So for instance, Jason destroyed Tom in the tennis game. Do the trick. The expression do the trick is a phrase that means to solve a problem, achieve a goal, or get a desired result. It is often used when referring to a specific action or solution that successfully resolves a particular issue or situation. For example, if someone is experiencing a headache and they take a pain reliever that alleviates their pain, you could say, taking the pain reliever did the trick. This means that the pain reliever was successful in resolving the headache. Another example would be if someone was struggling to open a jar and they used a rubber grip to get a better grip, you could say, using the rubber grip did the trick. This means that the rubber grip was successful in solving the problem of opening the jar. So in short, do the trick means to be effective in achieving a desired outcome. So in this passage from the book, Greg is saying that he easily beat Rowley today and he went home. On the way home, he ran through the neighbor's sprinkler a few times so that it looked like he was sweaty from being active outdoors, and this would stop his father's nagging. But my trick kind of backfired because as soon as Mom saw me, she'd made me go upstairs and take a shower. Kind of is often used to show that someone is not completely sure or to give a rough estimate. It shows that something is similar to a certain quality, but not exactly or fully. So for example, if someone says, I'm kind of tired, it means that they are somewhat tired, but not completely exhausted. It implies a moderate level of fatigue. Similarly, if someone says, she's kind of funny, it implies that the person has a sense of humor, but perhaps not to a great extent or in the same way as someone who is consistently hilarious.
This is kind of amazing what you're telling us.
It's kind of shocking.
And backfire. Backfire means that an action has an opposite effect to what was originally planned. So for instance, I gave Tom a lot of extra projects at work because I wanted him to struggle and get reprimanded by his bosses for not being able to perform at a high level. But this backfired because Tom was able to complete all of his projects and our boss gave him a promotion for all of his hard work. So in this sentence, my trick kind of backfired, the phrase kind of indicates that the speaker's trick didn't work completely as planned. The trick had some unintended results, but it wasn't a complete failure. So here in this passage, Greg pretended to be active outdoors and his father believed it, but also it had an opposite effect when his mother made him go upstairs and take a shower. And as we all know, little kids hate taking showers. So thanks for tuning in to today's video. I hope you found it enjoyable and learned something new. If you liked what you saw, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more exciting content. And if you have any suggestions for future videos or any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.